Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we're tackling a really interesting hard problem called last day where you can still cross. It sounds like a puzzle from a survival game, doesn't it? The grid is flooding day by day, and we need to figure out exactly when our path gets cut off. It's marked as hard, but don't worry, once we break down the logic you'll see it's actually quite approachable. Here is the problem. Imagine we have a grid that starts out entirely as dry land. But there's a catch. Every single day one specific cell floods and turns into water. We are given the dimensions of this grid, the number of rows and columns, and a list of cells that tells us exactly which spot floods on which day. Our goal is to find the very last day, where it is still possible to walk from the top row all the way down to the bottom row, moving only on land cells. We can move up, down, left or right. Let's visualize this clearly. Initially, the entire board is safe. We represent land with zeros. As days pass, we start marking spots as ones, which means water. We need to start anywhere in the very first row, the top, and reach anywhere in the last row, the bottom. As long as there is at least one path connecting top to bottom, we are good. We want to find the last day this is true. Let's look at the example. We have a small 2x2 grid. On day 0, everything is dry. On day 1, the top left corner floods. Can we still cross? Yes, we can go down the right side. On day 2, the bottom left corner floods. The left column is now all water, but the right column is still safe, so we can cross. On day 3, the top right corner floods. Now the entire top row is water. There's no way to even start, let alone finish. So the last safe day was day 2. This problem has a special property called monotonicity. Think about it. If the path is blocked today, adding more water tomorrow won't magically unblock it. It will stay blocked forever. Conversely, if a path exists today, it definitely existed yesterday when there was even less water. This sorted nature of the problem, where it goes from possible to possible and eventually flips to impossible, screams one specific algorithm. That algorithm is binary search. Instead of simulating day 1, then day 2, then day 3, which is slow, we can be smarter. We can pick a day in the middle, say day 50. We build the grid as it looks on day 50. Then we run a search, like breadth first search, to see if a path exists. If it does, great, we know the answer is at least 50, so we try to push it further to find the limit. If not, we know 50 is too late, so we look at earlier days. So here is our game plan. We set our binary search range from day 1 to the very last day. In each step we calculate the middle day. We take a blank grid and mark all the cells that would be water by that middle day. Then, we add all the safe cells in the top row to a queue and run a standard breadth first search. If our search reaches the bottom row, we save this day as a possible answer and try to see if we can last even longer. If we can't reach the bottom, we back off and try an earlier day. Just a quick heads up. We'll be walking through the solution using Python, but don't worry if that's not your main language. I'll be showing the full code for other popular languages like Java, C++, and JavaScript towards the end of the video. Before we get into the code, let's talk about the real reason people fail at Leetcode. It's not because they can't reverse a linked list. It's because they break their daily streak. I built my daily to-do specifically to solve this. You can set Solve Daily Leetcode as a routine task. This means it reminds you to complete your routine tasks every day. It's a dedicated system to force you to be consistent, which I also use to remind myself to upload these videos every day. If you're watching this channel, you're trying to improve, so this tool makes sure you actually show up to do it. I also want to be 100% transparent about how this app will grow. I am an indie developer, not a big corporation. I will never take away a free feature you already use. Core features like repeating tasks remain free forever. However, as I add new server-heavy features, they will be part of the premium plan to help cover the costs of running the app. Also, the price of premium will go up every time I ship a major new feature, so the best time to get involved is right now, while it's early. Check it out at the link in the description. Okay, we've talked about the big picture and the logic. Now let's see what this looks like as actual code. I'll put the full solution up on the screen first. And don't worry, after that, we'll walk through the most important sections together. Here is the complete Python solution. It's split into two main parts. The latest data cross function handles the binary search logic, deciding which days to test. Then we have the helper function, concross, which actually builds the grid for that specific day and runs the path-finding algorithm. Take a quick look, and then we will zoom in on the specific pieces. First, let's focus on the search loop. We initialize our range from day 1 to the total number of cells available. Inside the loop, we calculate the midpoint. We then ask our helper function, hey, is it possible to cross on this middle day? If the function returns true, we update our answer to this day because it's the best we've found so far, and we move our left pointer up to see if we can push it even further. If it returns false, we know we've gone too far, so we bring our right pointer down. Now let's look at the helper function. This part is crucial. For every check, we build a fresh grid. We start with a grid full of zeros, representing land. Then, we iterate through our list of cells, but only up to the current day we are testing. For each of these cells, we mark the corresponding spot on our grid as 1, representing water. Note that the problem gives us 1-based coordinates, so we subtract 1 from the row and column values to match Python 0-based indexing. Once the grid is built, we prepare for our breadth-first search. We need a queue to store the cells we want to visit, and a set to keep track of where we've already been. We loop through every column in the very first row, row 0. If a cell is land, meaning it's a 0, it's a valid starting point. We add it to our queue and mark it as visited. This is important because we can start crossing from any safe cell in the top row. Finally, the main BFS loop. We keep pulling cells from the queue. If we ever pull a cell where the row index is the last row, we instantly return true because we've made it across. If not, we look at all 4 neighbors, up, down, left, and right. For each neighbor, we check 3 things. Is it inside the grid boundaries? Is it land? And, have we not visited it yet? If all those checks pass, we add it to our queue to explore later. If the queue runs empty and we never reach the bottom, we return false. So how efficient is this? Well, the binary search performs a logarithmic number of steps based on the total days. Inside each of those steps, we run a breadth-first search which, in the worst case, visits every cell in the grid once. So if R is rows and C is columns, the time complexity is R times C times the log of the number of days. The space complexity is R times C because we need to build the grid and store the visited cells. Alright, that covers the main solution in Python. As promised, for those of you who code in other languages, I'm about to show the full solutions for Java, C++, and JavaScript. I won't be breaking these down, so just pause the video on your language of choice to check it out. Alright, as promised, here is the full solution in Java. You can pause the video here to take a closer look at the implementation. Next up, here is the C++ version of the solution. Again, feel free to pause and review the code. And finally, here is the solution in JavaScript. Hopefully seeing it in a few different languages helps solidify the concepts. So let's wrap it up. The biggest takeaway here is recognizing monotonicity. Whenever you see a problem asking for the last possible time or maximum value, where a condition stops being true, binary search is often your best friend. Also, breaking the problem down, writing a separate helper function to just check one specific day, makes the code much cleaner and easier to debug. And don't forget those pesky index conversions. Also, if you're looking for even more Leetcode problems beyond the daily challenge, I've started a second channel called Leetcode Unlocked. It's where I'll be posting solutions to a ton of other problems, so if you're serious about your interview prep, be sure to check it out. The link is in the description below. Hope this Leetcode solution breakdown made sense. If it helped, give that like button a click, maybe subscribe for more, or drop a comment if you have questions. Make sure to turn on the notification bell so you know straight away when I upload a video, because I upload videos daily. If you want to support the channel, a few people have asked how I plan my solutions. I'm a big fan of sketching out the logic and data structures on a tablet before I code. It really helps. I've put affiliate links in the description to the tablet I use and a few other good options. Using those links doesn't cost you anything extra but really helps me out. Or, if you're feeling generous, there's always the Boba Fund. Keep coding, and I'll catch you in the next one.